A very awesome Tuesday, folks. We bid to each and every one of you. Welcome. Selamat datang kembali together with me, Mio Adlan, for another session of ACTnow Hot Issue. What's for lunch? Hope you guys are having a good lunch so far. Siapa yang baru mula nak start kan, mana tahulah dah order dah order makanan from GrabFood ke. Like yesterday kita orang cakap kalau boleh elakkan plastik. Well, if you have stuff that in the office that you can replace all those kind of things, might as well. And you can always recycle your plastic containers in any way. Then one you boleh pakai sebagai artistic stuff ke, you nak pakai untuk bungkus makanan lain ke. But yeah, try to use less plastic if you can. That's what we try to do anyway always. So kepada yang tengah planning nak makan lunch tu, for whoever's out there who's planning to go out for lunch, yeah, make your plans properly, but make sure you guys sit in a place where it is open and like have a good air circulation out there. And make sure you guys do practice physical distancing still, because why, we're still living with COVID-19 around us. And kalau you all makan tu, obviously bila makan buka mask. But once you finish eating and you still want to chit chat and talk and whatnot with your friends, wear your mask and have a chat. It's fine. They can still hear you. No problem. Just wear your mask just for that extra protection is very, very important. And one person who always is on protection, yang selalu mementingkan keselamatan dan juga kebersihan dan juga segala-galanya kerana dia seorang yang sangat-sangat mengikuti SOP. Ladies and gents, Melvin Lam. Hey Melvin, what's up?
Hi, happy Diwali in advance.
You semangat lah. I tahu lah sebab kita dah pasang lagu intro tadi kan. We're still a few days away. But yeah, happy Diwali in advance.
Time very flies. It was just like a split of seconds as we did the last show on Monday. Now it's Tuesday.
Yeah, so, exactly. I mean, like, pejam cilik, time do really flies,
yes.
Whenever it is, without you noticing.
We have spent our 10 months already in 2021.
Yeah.
Flies.
Exactly.
Well, it flies very fast, but for once, since last year, we hope that the bad time flies fast. Yeah. Good times for here to stay.
Yeah, exactly. Before we go into our topics, I just want to share, or should I say, get your opinions on this matter, because obviously, ever since we were, earlier back in the late 80s, early 90s, semenjak Datuk Sri Dr. Mahathir, which is now Dr. Mahathir, has announced that, Vision 2020, Wawasan 2020, many of us, all of us were waiting for 2020, but when 2020 came about, it wasn't as what we expected kan. So dia macam sedih sikit kan.
Yeah, probably he missed or he deliberately took out a chapter on the 2020 visions.
Yeah.
I want to ask him, probably that's something that he actually don't want to publish out. It could be the case of the pandemic.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, that's what the pandemic, obviously, if you look at the pandemic, it has hit us. It has hit us in more ways than one. From our social life, from our economic, from our life economically, spiritually, mentally as well. But one thing or other that COVID-19 has actually hit us as well is because it has limited us from movement in regards of, moving from one place to another. Sebab kita kena lockdown, we cannot cross borders, we cannot cross district. But lately, thank God, Alhamdulillah, that we are able now to cross districts. We are able now to actually cross borders right now, and things are on the rise. Economy is on the rise. People are able to do their jobs. People are able to see their loved ones. But one thing is also on the rise, Melvin, because the fact that the borders are now open is the crime rates. The crime rate is also on the rise right now. I mean, expected, kita dah budget these things to happen, Melvin? What do you think?
It's expected because during the lockdown period, there's even on the roads in the city, highway, they have police block, randomly checking on you. Now, since it's lifted up, it makes escape much easier.
So dulu perompak pun kena lockdown lah kan. Sekarang dah tak ada lockdown. Perompak pun boleh jalankan tugas dia lah. How
yes,
sad
I think that is pro and cons of the issue. If you can remember last year, even the wild animals come to visit the kampong or the city.
Yep.
They will. I think they love lockdown.
Yeah, I get you on that. Yeah.
Because during lockdown, they have more freedom to roam around. But seriously, crime rates has increased because of the relax of the borders. Now people can travel. People can travel means that the team and all these things can also travel.
Yeah, that's the thing. And just to quote a report that came out from Sarawak, actually, the reopening of inter-district travel has resulted in an increase of number of crime cases, including drug abuse. That is mentioned by the National Association for the Prevention of Drugs, Pemadam in Sarawak. And during the MCO, when travel restrictions were enforced, the number of cases was controlled and reduced greatly. But when we opened the inter-district travel in Sarawak specifically, more people are on the move and crime rates and drug abuse are on the rise. I mean, it is inevitable, isn't it? Because we know for a fact that crime has always been there. As much as we want to limit it to the best of our abilities, we know that it will definitely make a return, because the fact that right now, as per my tata actually said, that in tougher times right now, people, unfortunately, they had to resort in doing all of these heinous crimes to make sure that they're able to support themselves. Now, is that fair? Disebabkan susahnya diorang because of financial constraints, they had to resort into committing crimes, Melvin?
When you say crime is punishable. I think that is, of course, there are cases that you ask me. That's a quite difficult question. If you have commit crime to a very less degree, I mean, like you still a lot of break because you're hunger, you need to feed your family. It's still a crime. But if you rob the cash till, I think that's also a crime, but it should be more punishable, higher punishable. So you ask me, I mean, stealing, crime is a crime. But like crime, like running for those called drugs abuse, where they can actually call that muters or bring drugs on behalf and get a fee. That is a real serious crime. But sometimes they say you have no choice. You need, like the time that we have this white flag campaign, which also Edward was involved. We also our good neighbors also contribute with pack and distribute and all these things. But you ask me, that's quite a difficult question. If you actually need to steal to survive, it's still a crime. But I think that crime can be forgiven if that person changed for good reason. Because circumstances, we are blessed that we still managed to find during that time of 18 months, we still managed to have a bowl of rice on our table, but some seriously can't. And, so, but crime is still a crime, but those crime rate has increased. It's more serious. It's not just for a road of break. There are crime like robbing people, so-called drugs that take travel from district to district, distributing drugs, even distributing humans.
Yep.
for the vice prostitutions and all those things. So those are need to be punished.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we're not playing favoritism here. As what Velvin has actually mentioned, yeah, it is true. A crime is a crime, regardless of however you look at it. If it, if you defy the law, if you break the law in any way, in any shape or form, you will be convicted. Should you actually commit these crimes, it doesn't matter if you curi one chewing gum from 7-Eleven, contohnya, or if you rob a bank. Of course, the severity or the heinous of the crime may differ,
Yeah,
but breaking the law is still breaking the law. And yeah, it is totally it is somewhat understandable and needs to be taken into consideration if unfortunately you are doing petty crimes because you want to support your family. I'm not saying that they should be forgiven 100%, my opinion at least, but they should really, I mean, the prosecutors really need to understand the background of it, why they're doing it, and maybe consider less harsh punishment, if that make any
yeah,
sense.
that's
But
right.
what we're trying to say is that for people who are breaking into banks ataupun mencuri from the elderly ataupun like you
Mm,
say drug abuse, distributing drugs or drug trafficking, human trafficking, whatnot. Now these
yeah,
people, we have no shame in saying that they should get the highest and most severe punishment there is, because they are not really supporting themselves. Diorang bukan sebab nak bagi makan anak bini, diorang nak beli iPhone dengan nak beli laptop yang mahal because that's their lifestyle. So that's the problem of these people, because they want to live in richness versus people who want to live because they need to live. Melvin, is that fair?
right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, uh, no offense. In Chinese saying, no one if we can grow hair, no one wants to get bald.
And why? No, a lot of sayings and a lot of
No, this
why
is I
are you
learned.
coming
This
to
is
the
a
hair?
proverb
I
that we
know,
learn.
there's so
If we
there's
have
thousands
if
of
we can have
proverbs
hair,
out
we
there.
will keep.
Okay, fine. Can you say it again so that I can really understand what you mean by that? Say it again.
It's okay saying that if we can have hair growing, we won't want to get bald.
Okay. What does that mean
Okay?
actually?
Means that let's say if I can find a job, I can feed my family. You think I'd like to go and rob a loaf of bread? So during the lockdown situations, a lot of people lost their job.
Yeah.
And this is a certain group that they do not have extra money for tomorrow, not for the day itself. Sometimes, yes, I can buy a meal for my lunch. I can't even afford for dinner. You know, so this is what this is Chinese saying. You know,
Yeah.
so
Tapi Marvin, I just want to give you the scenario, because I mean, again, earning money the right way is always harder than earning money the wrong way. Again, if you work, daily, contohnya, if I mean, like, if you are unfortunate enough to not have proper qualification, maybe you kena buat kerja keras atau kerja buruk, all those kind of things. Yes, you stay under the hot sun, you work for not really that much money, versus if you were to rob a bank, then you will be a multi-millionaire instantaneously, and it's much an easier job. But that doesn't give you the right to do so, because
yeah,
again, that's, I mean, again, in any religion, in any culture, in any understanding that we have lived upon on this God's green earth, is that there's right and there's wrong, there's yin and there's yang, there's karma, there's good and there's bad.
yeah,
People always want to do good and always hinder from doing bad things, and it's never right to do the bad things, even if you are desperate, right?
yeah. You're talking about those like more like blue collars. Like I say, they lost a job, they want to work, but then during lockdown, the job is not available. Let's say the industry is closed, so they have no choice. Probably, okay, I just chili a packet of nasi lemak for my children, for my But white collars are different, all right? So even before the interstate or in the country travel, these two very important persons, very infamous persons, of course, the authorities wants them back. So I mean, they're not so-called gone to the court yet, but they want them to question them and see what are the charges and let them defend themselves. These two gentlemen that make Malaysia very famous too, even that they travel and we couldn't locate them, is none other than Jolo, right?
And Nicky Liu.
And
Yeah,
the former Datuk Seri Ricky Liao, of course, now is known as Ricky Liao. There's so much even that.
I rasa Melvin, diorang pakai kuasa bomoh lah. I think their bomoh game is very strong lah, these two. Like
Can
the
you
fact that
recommend
our
me?
intelligence officer cannot even find them, which is very, very, very powerful lah.
So I was actually even in the States open before opening and whatever, can't find them at all. No, these are crimes. These are big crimes, you know. So-called not crimes yet. They are allowed to defend themselves, but they are on hikes now.
Yep.
So that's why I say white collars. This I consider them white collars crimes and those. I actually I know sometimes probably God also very difficult to make a judgment. Crime is a crime. but this one I still because my child needs it actually reported I think cases during last few months, not only in Malaysia, even in the West country as well. Remember once is it in France? This guy went to a convenience shop. He didn't steal any money. He took toiletries, essential food. He said, "This is what I want only." It happened in the West. It came out in the paper, in the media. You know. So what the operator of that convenience shop actually let him go, or the police let him go and buy him more, something like that.
Yeah. I think I came across that story as well. But we're not condoning that. We're not telling people out there to literally go into any KK mart or any speed mart or whatnot just to take things, freely and not expected to get punished by that. No, we're not condoning that work at all. If you are in dire need of supplies, if you're in dire need of items like for your newborn baby or your family, whoever it is, please contact your municipal council area because Jabatan Kebajikan is represented across the board in every area that we live in Malaysia. Now, these people are responsible to help you guys out in any way that they can. So please do not resort to crime. Please do not resort to commit all the heinous crimes.
Even to your your state assembly, your assemblymen, they have a social responsibility to assist you because they are voted for that also for that purpose as well. So do not go the so-called stealing or whatever. I mean sometimes at the time you are totally blank, your mind is totally blank, but there are sources to extend help to you. Well, you can actually come to ACTnow. We're more than glad to assist. In our own capacity, our own little network.
Yeah. We try to help.
This one case. Quite recent. This lady claimed that she was abandoned by the family. It was caught. It was reported by ACTnow using the app, and actually we has assigned the kebajikan, kebajikan unit negara, something like that, to assist the camp and actually pick up the lady. And I'm sure she's in good hand right now.
Yeah. So final note on this again, please, people out there, do not resort to committing crime because at the end of the day, life can get hard. Times can be difficult, but still there are always people out there. If you even think that no one can help you out there, believe me, there's always someone who can help you. Just you have to try to reach out to the proper people, to the proper channels. And like what Menvin has mentioned, should you need any help or whatnot, just give ACTnow a buzz and we will try to help you in any way that we can, at least to connect you to the right people as much as we can. Okay, end of the first topic. Very interesting topic. A bit of orang kata pembuka pembuka semangat sikit in regards of really understanding how the world works right now, because again, when we talk about MCO, when we talk about lockdown, a lot of people are dia orang tak boleh cari makan, they can't go out, they can earn a living. Because why? At the end of the day, because Malaysia is all about that. Malaysia is about giving. Malaysia is famous about giving out. Our culture is like that. We like to help people out. We like to help people in any way that we can. We like to buy people food because Malaysia is very famous for its food. Obviously, no one can deny the fact that Penang, Malacca, even Selangor for that matter, we are famous for our food and our delicacies is very, very good. A lot of people know about that. But one thing that has happened or has been reported lately in the news is that one of the operators ataupun one of the factories who produces some food for us to eat has been infested with flies. OMG. I nak muntah cerita ni.
I would not have this for a while. I would not have this.
Okay, for people who don't know, Melvin, what is actually a fuchuk? Tolong terangkan, please.
Fujuk, it's a beancurd skin.
Okay.
Beancurd. Have you heard of beancurd? It's
Yes,
from
I've heard
soya
of it.
beans. Yeah, it's from soya beans. It's made from the upper layer, the skin. They give it dry, so you eat like those famous yong tau fu. Means
Yong
that
tau fu. Yes,
so
correct.
you have beancurd with the fish paste, and they deep fry it. It's very crispy, very nice.
All right.
Yeah, I watched this for a while.
Yeah,
After,
but
after I read this,
what has
I read
happened here?
this
What are
issue.
we reporting here, Melvin?
Well, it was the authorities actually found a fly-infested beancurd skin Fujuk factory, and that has ordered them to shut down for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks is not enough. If the factory has been operating illegally for 12 years without license, why 2 weeks? You should clear them out and chase them away, and then clear all the flies. But they gave them 2 weeks left for not complying with the SOP. But then
Okay.
they say they have been operating for 12 years illegally. That's something I do not understand. And they say the place was a mess and does not qualify at all to process food.
Yeah.
So that means that it's unhygienic and they cause contamination of the food that they produce, they process, and this could trigger food poisoning among us. If we're so unlucky,
Exactly.
we buy a fujo and all these things come from the factory. We actually eating tahi lalat.
No, this grind my gears because you know why? I mean, like at the end of the day, when you go to a supermarket, you go to your Giants, your Tesco's, your NSK or whatever, you see the packaging, everything is all nice and cozy and everything. You put trust in that brand. You put
Yeah.
trust in the fact that these suppliers, these providers are giving you the best that they can in regards to whatever it is that you buy. But to hear these kind of thing happening in the background, it just, I mean, like you get so mad because I mean, like your health is the main concern here because things that go into your body, God knows how it was processed before. And kononnya you got all your halal cap lah, your sirim cap lah, your kebersihan cap or whatever it is on that product. But in reality, these guys have been operating illegally for 12 years. And it
Yes.
was found out that they even had dogs going around their factory, lepak-lepak there and
First
whatnot.
of all, I don't know. First of all, the authorities should close it for good. 12 years has been giving them a good time already. And how could they and cannot so-called know about this operating 12 years as a food in the food business? Yeah. And 12 years, how many victims of how many actually has died directly, indirectly because of consuming it?
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, like this may not kill you instantly. This may kill you down the line because any infested food, bacterial, it doesn't attack you immediately. Sometimes it stays in your body, and it will only attack you after 3-4 years and whatnot. It could actually happen like that, and it's so scary.
How could the authority undetect such operation? Now it's detected. They find it now. They report is unfit with all the fries over, and you still want to give them 2 weeks to clean up. No, I will ask them to give them 2 minutes to clear up and pack and go.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And funny enough, Melvin, apparently it was also reported earlier this year, back in February, another beancurd skin. Kenapa asyik cerita fucuk ni? Kenapa tak cerita makanan lain? Kenapa fucuk? I don't know why. But another fucuk factory that has been operating illegally, they found dead carcass of cats nearby where they dry the fuchuk.
Yes, it was
Oh
beginning
my
of the
God.
year. I think we brought that subject up. So please, I think this holds in the responsible of the local councils, because all these local councils, all the license they issue by them, they have enforcement officers going around. They cannot. I speak on as a community, as a riot. We cannot tolerate this. Zero tolerance. Close it down.
Yeah.
And get them penalize them, not the kind of money. Make sure they have the worst punishments. I mean, the not say the worst, the maximum punishments. There's no, because our health is at stake.
Yeah. And funny enough, in Penang, apparently again talking about Fuchu, 2 factories in Penang were caught and were compounded and were fined for a total of 7,500 ringgit.
Yeah, 7,000
Melvin,
and
RM7,500 sahaja kena saman. And the
yeah,
fact that they found rat droppings and hygienic ways of storing food, 7,500 je kena saman.
yeah.
Melvin, apalah sangat.
Yes, and then they could probably make it in a single day, and probably they affected 7,000 victims.
Exactly.
7,000 life. So I think this kind of ACTnow, I mean, not only personally, I think ACTnow will be, when we grow, hopefully, inshallah, we will be very fast. We're going to talk to all these people, all these authorities. Please, just close them down. We will make it as a campaign so that we want the community support. We can't, because you eat it, your family eat it, your children eat it, please. And these operators, they're humans like us. If they are robots, 100% robots, they do not differentiate a casket, sheets, and all these things. They just know, okay, I have 1 kilo of flour, mixing on with how many eggs and all those things, and okay, produce and pack and send out. I think okay, fine. But those people who work there are humans too. They should know what harm that they're actually contributing. That's worse than starting drugs.
Yeah, I mean, because again, we're not saying that any crime is different, but because you're talking about food items here, you're talking about things that human beings consume. You bagi anak you makan, you bagi bini you makan, you bagi husband you makan, you bagi mak bapak you makan. Imagine if you know the source of your food comes from a back alley where rats infested it's rats infested dengan flies, dengan lipas and whatnot, and then you sanggup makan ke in the first place, let alone you want to give other people. It just doesn't make sense. And please the authorities, kalau ada pun hukuman, takkanlah kena 7,500 je kot. That is chump change to these people. These people are making hundreds and thousands of ringgit. 7,500 is just 1 hour's pay for them. That's it.
Yes, just close it down, pull the license, blacklist their names, their IC, whatever. Do not issue any more license to them. And you can actually share this between the 155 local councils, the blacklisted names. So because they can be easy. Let's say they are in Penang, Sembawang, they can move over to Kedah, just next border to operate. No, all these blacklisted names, all the local councils, please do not issue to these operators.
Yeah. Have a nationwide list rather than state level list. Share it across the board with the agency dengan kementerian KPD and HEP as well, because
I have to laugh because now can interstate travel already. They can get
I understand what you mean. Imagine if you buat pasal on the Penang Island, you can just jump to Batu Works. Batu Works also you buat hal, you can just jump out to Kulim. Kulim Kedah is just like literally 2 minutes away. Yeah, that's the thing. So please, KPD and HEP, siapa-siapa badan agensi yang terlibat, please, be serious in going down. Kita katanya keluarga Malaysia, we don't believe in corruption, we don't believe in makan suap, we don't believe in under the table deals. Find these people, check whether their data or their qualification or their accreditation is valid or not, and check their premises. At the end of the day, dia melibatkan anak you juga, dia melibatkan your community juga, your surroundings juga. Please take stern action on these people. And again, 7,500 is not enough, seriously. Like what Melvin said, ban them, stop them from operating. Biar dia orang jual kasut, lagi senang.
No, I would say ban them. Whatever business they want to apply a license, do not issue to them.
There you go. A sterner wish. A sterner punishment for these people. Kalau dia orang tak boleh berdisiplin to conduct themselves properly in a business, might as well they don't do business. Might as well they work with Alam Flora.
Because every business they do, they will harm some other people.
Exactly. Aduh, letih lah. So, but whatever it is, I know for a fact that right now, Melvin, you are craving for some fuchuk for lunch lah after this.
We are joking.
I don't know. Maybe that crossed your mind that you wanted to try some, or you wanted to investigate further where the source of the fuchuk is from. I don't know.
No, the problem is how do you? I mean, if it's those words you buy in the morning market or in the Sunday shop, they are not even branded.
Yeah, correct. They can just take out from the packaging, and just sell it as if it's like sendiri buat your homemade kind of thing. Oh my god, it's just.
So I think at the end of the day, we are the one who are culprit. We are the one we are the evil monster ourselves. You want to do a business, make sure you are responsible for your supporter, your buyers. You know,
Yeah,
you don't
correct.
want to kill them, and then you're actually killing yourself also.
That is very, very true.
That brings back for a short while because just about 10, 20 years ago, you know the Lo Shi Fan, the noodle, the short white color, they call it
Yep.
the Lo Shi Fan, directly translate as a rat tail.
Mm.
You Google back, that school somewhere in Para, the students, it was in the canteen, they bought it and it actually cost few lives. Yeah, you Google, it's quite a famous thing. It's called, it happens here. I think 20 over years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, like that's we're talking about rat tails. Like at least they're not drinking an alcoholic drink called Timah or Oma.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
then those are children, school children. They are innocent people.
Yeah.
Imagine if they're alive today, they be contribute to the society. They are someone.
It's all because the ringgit. It's all because of the dollar. Because people are chasing profit. Because of the greediness of some human beings out there. So that's the issue at hand, lah.
Yes.
Well,
So
okay.
for makan fujo, I mean that is probably a blessing. If you makan and you die, that's what I'm worried about.
I don't think they can testify anymore if they're gone and then like they can't really say anything. Oh my god. And on that note, on that sour note, that marks the end of
Right.
our episode today. So advice to people out there, kalau boleh jangan makan fucuk dulu lah. Tunggu dulu lah. Maybe wait for a month. You know, until you eat your fuchuk for that one. I don't know.
You know, we never know. There's so many fujo operators. We will do a campaign. We will stop eating fujo for 1 year if you don't clean up your act.
Kesian orang jual yong tau fu lah you ni. Aduh.
No, don't buy your food. Don't use fujo, use veggie.
Change it up. All right,
Yeah,
enough. Suddenly
All right.
tiba-tiba lapar pula. But yeah, all right. So
It's getting
make
so
sure
hot.
you go and have your lunch and make sure you don't find fuchuk for your lunch, okay?
No fujo for a while.
All right, bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right,
See you
ciao.
tomorrow.
Okay, all kidding aside, folks, again, you know, at the end of the day, we are not saying that all of these food operators are conducting these kind of manners. Obviously, a lot of you guys are very responsible, very proper in doing your business. But yeah, just to make sure that other people do follow in line and do be responsible human beings. Because again, when we talk about food, people, things that you consume, it involves not just you, but everyone around you, people that you love, and you want to make sure that they are well as well. All right, very important. Yodlan here. That's the end for this episode. Hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. You guys take care now. Happy lunching. Bye.